You are live.
Leah, put that light back on, please, honey.
It doesn't affect you.
Okay, very good. Hi. Welcome to. Okay, stop.
Go.
Okay. Okay. Wait. Welcome back to Home Cooking with Gracie. I'm Gracie. Today I'm going to make for you bruschetta, but it's not your traditional bruschetta, and you'll see why. It's between a bruschetta and a pizza, but we know it as a bruschetta. So it's between a bruschetta and a pizza, and I will tell you, the only difference really is that I add cheese on top and then I melt it. So right now, the oven is on at 350, getting hot. This will take no time to prepare, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my ingredients. We're going to need extra virgin olive oil, real garlic or garlic powder, salt, pepper, oregano, basil, our beautiful tomatoes. You can do this by hand, but they're not always in season, so we have our beautiful canned tomatoes that are already chopped up and diced. Some come with the oregano, basil, and garlic already in it, which I prefer, but I had one of each. So one has the seasonings, one doesn't. You could just add some more seasonings anytime you want. Okay, so let me get rid of this. All right, I've got 5 pieces of this beautiful Italian bread. That's what I like to use. This will make 10 pieces. Of course, you can make or more or less, whatever the case may be, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Whenever you're cutting bread, serrated knives work the best in my opinion. But again, whatever works for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut it in half. And then cut this in half. Okay, and we're ready to start with our bread. So what I like to do is get a little olive oil on this first and get it in the oven and get it nice and toasted. Okay, so here we go. Zorro. Oh, you can make any initial you like. Okay. Just a little. And you know, if you want to get fancy, I do this. I get a brush and I brush the olive oil across. So I think I'll do that for you guys today, okay? I'm going to go ahead and get a brush. Just spread it out a little more evenly. You really don't have to, but it takes just an extra minute, if that. So why not? Okay, so what you didn't see earlier is that when I took the tomatoes, it comes in its own tomato juice, so to speak. I drained all the sauce in a colander, okay, and I saved actually that tomato like juice because I'm going to make Italian stew tomorrow. So I'm going to use that as part of my sauce for the Italian stew. Okay, another thing that I already did that you did not see is I went ahead and I sprayed a cooking spray onto my grate, so to say, or your pan, whatever you want to use to lay my bread on. And let me go get that for you. So you would take this or whatever you want to use. A cooking sheet is perfectly fine, but I like the air circulating all the way around. So I took it, put it in the sink, and I sprayed it so it doesn't go all over your counters, it doesn't go all over the floor. So here we go. Let's get this started. Marina, 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 ti voglio per presto sposare. Sorry, my Italian peeps out there, I do not know the words. But I tell you, growing up Italian, it was great. For me personally, it was great. I enjoyed the culture, the music, the cuckoo-ness of it. You know, you walk into it, and I remember as a child, they would say, "Oh my God, Grace, every time I come to your house, it sounds like someone is fighting." No, that's just us being passionate and having a good time. So whenever you go near an Italian home, if you hear loud noises, it's just them having fun. Let's hope. Okay, in the oven it goes. I'll be right back.
Alrighty?
Let me know when we're on.
On.
We're on? Okay, welcome back. I seem to be doing this thing that I bring an ingredient or I change something in the frame now that wasn't there earlier. I mentioned the ingredients earlier and I mentioned that my bruschetta is between a bruschetta and a pizza, and the reason is because I will add mozzarella. on top. Okay, so let's get going. The bread should be toasted. Each oven is going to be different. So mine I toasted for I think about 7 to 8 minutes. So let me go get that. Is you want to slip it off here. You want to be able to work with it, right? So let me slip it off. I always have all these cutting boards all the time. It's okay if they sit on each other for now, just to move this out of the way. I work in a very tiny little island. I purchased a long time ago. It's really for wine and cocktails, but hey, it works for now. I'll put this away. So now you have your lovely pieces of bruschetta. It is a little hot, but it's okay. I'm used to working with my fingers, so it's a little hot. You can do it two ways. You can take your garlic and rub it down like this. And get, ooh, it's melting already. You just take real garlic. You just wipe it on your bread, nice and firm. But you don't want to wreck the bread, of course, but it's nice and toasted. Oh, shrinking already, my little garlic. I know that's not the words. But, ooh, Maria, mamia, smells so good. Okay, done. Well, my little jug bowl is right here. Okay, so now what I want to do, I'll save these for later. What I want to do now is go ahead and put my tomatoes on each bruschetta. Okay. I always like to have extra tomatoes than not enough. By the way, I don't know whether I mentioned it or not. Did I mention that I wanted to drain the tomatoes, Leah? The liquid? Yes, I did mention that. And sometimes what I actually like to do is while I'm waiting for the bread to toast in the oven, I like to dress these gorgeous sweet tomatoes with extra virgin olive oil, garlic, fresh garlic, a little salt and pepper. It already has oregano and basil in it, but I added a little bit more. But I will, again, I've mentioned this before and I'll mention it again. Every time you're doing something new or adding ingredients, you know, you're adding another layer, so therefore add another flavor. My daughter is behind the camera. She leaves for Chicago tomorrow. I'm not happy about that at all. But, you know, you gotta let the kids fly the coop, as they say. I'll have to bribe her to come back. I'm losing a couple. Again, I'm working in such a small little service. For such a small service, I think I do a pretty good job. Okay, do I have enough tomatoes? Wada. Looky. Let's just go like so. Nice. I'm not going to put olive oil on top of the tomatoes, which you can. I've chosen not to do that. I added it to the tomatoes here. I don't want to make the bread soggy with the olive oil on top of this tomato, so while it was cooking, it was marinating. Okay. And what you want to do now is just spread your tomatoes evenly. I got some loosey-goosies over here, but that's okay. All right, good enough. I'm going to transfer this back onto my rack, so I'm just going to move this over. My tiny little board. Move it right there. Now in the oven, Leah. Oh, how did I miss one? That's okay. We'll just make that with the mozzarella, okay, which is like a garlic bread with mozzarella. So actually, since we have one, let me go ahead and do this. Let me just spread a little garlic powder on this little guy. Can't let it go to waste. That'd be pecado. You know, that would be a shame. So I'm going to go ahead and put our little bruschetta, our bruschetta. Again, you can use a cookie sheet pan, aluminum, you use whatever you have, whatever's convenient. Remember, you want to make cooking fun, easy. You don't want to make it hard work, because then you're not going to want to do it. Okay, is there enough to put on this little guy? Oh, I don't think so. Well, again, why do we want to waste it? All right, so this little misfit, can't forget about the little misfits. What I'll do is I'll boil some tomatoes from the other one and fix it. There we go. Look at that. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. I have that song in my head since I was a child, and it's still here. Leah's enough, you think? Should put more there?
Looks good.
Waiting, Leah.
Looks delicious. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I know, because I'm hungry. This one here is always hungry. Okay, I always have my mapine handy, you know, your tea towel. You want to have that in Italian, we say mapine. And now I'm going to go ahead and spread. I prefer freshly grated mozzarella. I don't like to buy them any kind of cheese that's already shredded for us in the pack. Reason, again, I found out recently that I have hypothyroidism, and it can havoc your body big time. So they put a caking agent in the other one, so that's why I choose to shred my own. Okay. I left it on the counter for a few minutes, and then the mozzarella started melting together, so I'm like, oh. You want to go ahead and put that in the fridge, stay nice and cool. Okay? And it's okay if you pile it on like that right now. We'll spread it out in a sec. And another good reason why I have the grates, so the cheese falls through here and not on the bottom of your oven. So let's spread them out a little bit. And of course, once it bakes, it'll do its own spreading. But you got to make sure. And you don't want to overkill with the cheese and lose the beautiful flavor of the tomatoes. So be careful not to put too much over. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little basilica, dry basil. Okay. And everything is, you know, to taste, but it's up to you. If you don't care for dried basil, you know, you can omit it. Don't add it. Sometimes there's, you can find the in the dry area, the Italian seasoning, which has basil, oregano, and parsley all together. So you can use that one as well. Whatever you have handy. Now, I also have my oregano. Again, I prefer dry. I think fresh oregano, for me personally, is too strong. And if it was just me eating this, and you can do this at the end, add the red hot chili flakes. You know, jalapenos on top, whatever you want, a porcini on top. Okay, this is all ready to go. How easy is this, right? Fun. Yes, I could be a little bit of a dork. That's okay. All right, Lee, I'm going to go ahead and open the oven door. If you see things sliding off, cut the camera off. The delicate peel of a flower, I'm not so much. Okay, well, welcome back. So what I've done is, my daughter keeps telling me to just cut to it, Mom, nobody needs to see. So I took the prepared bruschetta, pizza bread, whatever you want to call it, put it in the oven. Let it cook in the oven. Every oven is different. The first portion took 5 minutes, I believe, 5-6 minutes to toast. And then rub the garlic on it. And then to melt the cheese, another 7 minutes. Okay, but again, it depends how you like it. You can make it more toasty on top, you know, more crispy. But see the edges of this is Italian bread. You can use sourdough bread, you can use French bread, but I feel the Italian bread works best. So when you toast, it's nice and crunchy. I like nice and crunchy, so it depends on what you like. But you can see how toasted it is. Can I see the bottom? Oh, look. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Without it all falling down. The rest of the bruschetta is on the side because it wouldn't fit on my little platter. So again, I just wanted you to see the final product. This is Gracie's bruschetta. Thank you for joining me and my beautiful daughter who's leaving for Chicago tomorrow. But hopefully she'll be back real soon. And thank you in advance for your patience because I'm learning as I go. And again, there's something different in this frame that wasn't in the last. And I'm not actually doing it on purpose. I'm realizing I'm making a little error here and there. So if you're bored and you want to go back and see what's different in the frame, maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. So thanks again with joining me today, Cooking with Gracie. Please come back. God bless.